Here's something you didn't know about me. I'm horny for swords. I've always picked classes with cool looking swords, aka I'm a filthy dex player. So when I heard about a game from Software that's all about sword fighting, I was super excited about it. And then I proceeded not to play it until 2023. Some things are just destined to be a certain way. My new inauguration to a male porn star's club and my delay to play this game are just two examples of this. Finally, as I had played most of their catalog, Sekiro reared its head and I said, yes daddy. I was finally sold on the game before it even began. I mean, something that's not Dark Souls like? That's bull. And ninjas? And sword fighting? And no weird cryptic ass story dialogue? Count me in. Sekiro seemed like a complete breath of fresh air, and it was finally time I find out if it lives up to my expectations. You know what's sexy? This. Oh lord, I'm coming. Too bad when I play it looks more like this.
Jesus.
Sekiro has aesthetics unlike any other game from From Software. Battlefields run with corpses, a giant snake in a valley mountain with a giant Buddha statue indicating a rich history, whatever this is. Combine that with some of the cool as fuck enemies that guard these places, and you have an entirely unique aesthetic unlike any other game, going from rooftop to rooftop fighting ninjas. Finally, you're done until you realize you're doing first-hand reenactment of 9/11 and you're the tower. The ninjas actually move like ninjas. The samurai's fighting style exudes honor, and the monkeys are monkey. Oh, I'm gonna get to the monkeys alright. Far more than Dark Souls or Bloodborne, Sekiro exudes color. I love it when instead of the dead colorless world they usually create, they make the world a lot more colorful. I liked it when they did that with Elden Ring, and they also did that with Sekiro. Grappling through mountains and getting shot at, evading everything skillfully until you reach this picturesque broken statue on a mountain. The awe of the view is suddenly broken as the boss gets up. You see the health bar and get your ass ready for a pounding. When it comes down to feeling like a ninja, nothing comes close to aesthetics of Sekiro, even if that grab attack is utter fucking bullshit. But you know what's not bullshit? The story. Sometimes when I start playing a game, I don't want to have to read paragraphs about how this Discord moderator boss I'm fighting is fucking his child brother on the side, or have to watch an hour-long video about uncircumcised men killing God. I also just sometimes want to fucking hear my character talk, or have some emotion. I swear I could be getting the absolute shit beat out of me, getting impaled, thrown, cut, whatever the fuck this is, and my character after winning is just like. Or when a really heartbreaking scene happens, such as a character death, my character just wakes up again like it's nothing. Sekiro isn't like that. There's not as much of an emphasis on hiding the story behind paragraphs. Sekiro actually talks, has emotions and feelings about what path he's taking. He mourns and sacrifices. That already sets the story apart. But another major thing that sets the story apart is Discount Sasuke. No other Souls game has an edgelord rival. That's a first. You know what else is different? Sekiro gives zero fucks. Dark Souls, gotta save the world by burning myself to death. Elden Ring, gotta be the Elden Lord. Sekiro, I wanna save my master, and I don't give a fuck about what happens to Ashina. In fact, Sekiro is single-handedly the biggest menace. Combine this with the usual From Software story style and you get a fresh experience. Except the enemies, you still get buttfucked. But speaking of buttfucking, the gameplay makes me so fucking hard. Remember when I said that I'm horny for swords? Yeah, Sekiro gameplay makes me nut. It's so simple. Attack, deflect, counter, and dash. But in practice, it feels so badass. When you actually do it right, most of the time it will look like this, not this, cause you're shit. But when you do get it, the fight draws you in so much more than any other From Software game. Playing against a samurai, exchanging blows, or fighting another ninja much like yourself, using the same tricks as you. I still remember the way you stepped on me, daddy. Unironically, that was a true statement. The coolest moments are when you're fighting a distinguished sword fighter who does anime movements like this one dojo guy who does 2 slashes, or the final boss throwing out air slashes. There's even the monkeys from One Piece that make an appearance, which does remind me of one of my biggest dislikes from this game. I hate it when they put Dark Souls bosses in Sekiro. You'll probably know exactly what I mean, but I'll explain it anyway. You see, the way Dark Souls plays is by imitating this raccoon here. When you roll in Dark Souls, for a brief second, you are God. You are untouchable. As such, you can give Dark Souls bosses the craziest moveset ever. It's fine because all you have to do is roll at the right time. But you see, in Sekiro, you can't roll. You have to deflect instead. It's a different game with a different way to play. You don't dodge. You get in their face and deflect them harder than their dad deflected out of their lives. This is perfect for bosses with moves that make sense. You can make the player feel a lot more involved this way, but as a consequence, you can't do as much bullshit as you're used to doing, Miyazaki. Now imagine if a Dark Souls boss, who's meant to be dodged by rolling, is in Sekiro, a game all about deflecting, introducing Monkey. Now do you understand what I mean when I say I hate it when they put Dark Souls bosses in Sekiro? This fucking Monkey and that goddamn demon are perfect examples. How the fuck am I supposed to deflect this? The Monkey's second phase is perfectly fine because it plays by the Sekiro formula: deflect, attack. But this, oh, this gives me AIDS. I'm annoyed just thinking about this. Other than this little pet peeve of mine, I love Sekiro. It's so good. From the bosses to the characters, even the story, all of it is so badass and right up my alley. You know, it's a fun game when you get to cut up a cog, but it's not any of these things that make you remember Sekiro. It's the journey from a mindless cog in the machine to a person who makes his own choices and sacrifices. That is what makes me remember and continues to inspire countless people to choose for themselves.
We must leave this place, my lord.